Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Morning.
I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on television on Comcast Channel 99 and rebroadcast on WMGJ Radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles is absent today. Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Billingsley.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Shane Ellison to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we just give thanks for this day. We give thanks for the opportunity to serve and to try to do your will and all things pleasing in your sight. We pray for all those that are out working in the heat, that don't have air conditioning, the elderly and such, Lord, that you just cover them in your protection and so that they are safe during this time. Thank you for all those that are here in attendance today, Lord, those that are willing to serve this city. I pray for the mayor and the council today, Lord, that you always give them wisdom to help serve this city well. Now we just pray all these things in your precious name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and city council meeting held on July 10.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of July 6th through the 12th.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor?
Mayor.
We do have one special presentation today. Judge Kimberly,
He's back there.
is he here?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for putting me on the agenda today. I'm David Kimberly, presiding judge of the 16th Judicial Circuit. And as you may recall, I'm sure as you know, the folks that have to write these checks, in our last financial crisis during the recession, last financial court crisis, the legislature passed a bill for a judicial administrative fund, which is to be funded in a significant portion by municipalities. We received significant monies from all the municipalities in Etowah County for use in the judicial administrative fund for the benefit of the court systems of Etowah County. And it has been put to significant beneficial use, primarily keeping folks like bailiffs on duty, court attendants, and keeping a way for those folks to be paid because they were no longer being paid by the state. It's been used for significant finances has been used for security upgrades for the judicial buildings, significant upgrades such as a new camera system, electronic locks, monitors, things of that nature, electronic keypads, and all those sorts of things. And as much as that's helped the judicial building, when I became the presiding judge, in looking at the Judicial Administrative Fund, I language, the enabling statute, it said for the benefit of all courts in Etowah County. I thought you had been so good, all the municipal courts been so good to provide funding for that for the past 5 years, that there's no reason it shouldn't benefit all the municipal courts of Etowah County. So I wanted to take that opportunity to give the municipal courts a chance to let us know what needs they may have. And the Gadsden Municipal Court has indicated that they're in need of a new shredder. I wanted to make it particularly for technical upgrades, such as new computers, new equipment, new printers, things of that nature that municipal courts may need to upgrade their equipment. And the city of Gadsden has requested, municipal court has requested a new shredder. So I'm here, and hopefully it's something that we can do every year for the municipal courts in Etowah County to assist in some small way with their upgrades. And I'm here today to provide this year's grant for an equipment upgrade for the Gadsden Municipal Court, with our thanks at the Judicial Administrative Fund and the Judicial Building for what the city of Gadsden and other municipalities have done over the past 5 years. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Kimberly.
So, thank you. All right, thanks, appreciate it. Thank you.
Judge,
All right, thank y'all.
I appreciate those kind words you said, and $1,000 is not gonna buy my vote, but you've done a great job, and I appreciate what you've done for the court system, and good luck to you.
Thank you so very much. Thank all of y'all.
Judge Kimberly, I'll extend that, and it's definitely good to see you here today, for sure.
Good to see y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate the
All right,
opportunity.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, item number 9A is a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property at 408 South 4th Street in District 4. LDA Investments LLC and Rex G. Keeling being the last known owners. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on June 12th. What is the pleasure of the council?
Recommend we table it for 30 more days, please.
Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for an additional 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Item number 9B is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien for grass cutting against property at 429 North 9th Street in District 3. Milton V. Lucas Jr. being the last known owner, and the amount is $196. This resolution was tabled for 30 days on June 12th. What is the pleasure of the council?
I move to adopt. Second.
Okay. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
No.
we have one no vote. Motion carries to adopt.
This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien for demolition on property located at 108 Boyd Drive in District 2, State of Alabama, certain rights of redemption of William David Hudson and wife Geneva Hudson and Nathan Carter being the last known owners. The amount is $3,616.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will,
I think we vote on all three of these at the same time,
okay, it's been recommended that we address all three of these at the same time. Is there any objections?
We'll need to conduct the hearings on the other two as well.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Ain't a motion yet.
Do we have a motion? I'm sorry. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of,
You did that.
we've got to do the hearings?
Yeah, on all of them. Let's just do one at a time then.
Yeah, we've got to do them all separately. Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
On recommendation of the building department, I move that we adopt the recommendation.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien for demolition on property located at 116 Boyd Drive in District 2. The state of Alabama, William David Hudson, wife Geneva Hudson, Crystal Wood, Nathan Carter, and Michael Adams being the last known owners. The amount is $2,091.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move that we adopt the recommendation.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement liens for demolition on property located at 315 Brandon Street in District 2, Floyd Wayne Holderfield, care of D.R. Maroney, subject to color of title claims of Wayne Layton, Dolores Layton, April Oberly, Jeannie McKinney, D.R. Maroney, and the state of Alabama being the last known owners. The amount is $2,166.40. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move that we adopt the resolution.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our final public hearings are resolutions assessing nuisance abatement liens against property for grass cutting work that's already been performed. We have two locations, and the state of Alabama is the owner of both of these. Item number 13 is at 716 North 10th Street in District 3, and the assessed amount is $316. Item number 14 is at 1325 Alabama Street in District 3, and the assessed amount is $256. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to either of these resolutions? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt both resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt both resolutions, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt both.
Item number 15 is a resolution appointing members to the Industrial Development Board. This appoints Andrew Roberts and Tim McCartney for terms expiring July 25th, 2023, and Hugh Miller for a term expiring July 25th, 2021. It reappoints David Cochran for a term expiring July 25th, 2021. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move that we adopt the recommendation.
Okay. Is there any discussion? The one point that I'll make is this Industrial Development Board is not to be confused with the Industrial Development Authority, which is responsible for all of the industrial recruiting in the city. This board carries a different function. Okay. All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one I'd like to ask unanimous consent for, please. Come from Legal Department, 2018-384. It's a document, resolution establishing dates for referendum on appointed or elected school board for the election and runoff election of school board members. And this, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent on this first, please.
Okay, there's a motion to consider today. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, Consent has been granted.
I move to adopt, please.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes, this will, if this passes here today, the election will be November the 13th, which will be the second Tuesday in November. The law says we have to have our elections either the second Tuesday or the fourth Tuesday. So that's where we are on this right here today. We're just bringing this up. It will read, do you favor changing the Gadsden City Board of Education from an appointed to elected board? I'm gonna read that again. Do you favor changing the Gadsden City Board of Education from an appointed or elected board? It just voted up or down, yes or no. That's
Can
all
I
have.
ask a question to the attorney? Can we actually have this election then, Lee?
Well, my opinion is it would not be proper.
So it's a moot point for us even voting on this.
That's just my opinion.
It's the only chance I see to, you know, the people an opportunity to vote one way or the other. And I
Well,
think
I
that's
wish
what
we
they
could-
want. If nobody,
Yeah, why can't we put it on the city election on August 28th?
Because there's an
well,
opinion that
that
says,
definitely is not,
yeah, there's an opinion that says that we haven't, and we're not in a, we don't have the ability at this point to meet the notice requirement. So there's
Well,
actually a
okay,
legal
does the
opinion.
law say anything about how long is the notice requirement?
There's a
this
legal opinion.
this is the only thing I see.
What's the legal opinion, sir,
That there's an 8-week requirement of notice, so.
for this election? For the special election for the,
Yes. There's an 8-week requirement. So again, there are a number, one of the reasons that's caused the delay is the number of ambiguities associated with it.
well, why not, let's ask the legislature to reconsider this, do away with this one, ask them to do a new one.
Why
we'll
don't we
we'll
pass it and then do that?
Let's see, when will they next be in session?
I
mean,
think
that's,
we owe it to them, at least give them a chance to vote on it, and if it's not legal, then do whatever we have to
Well,
do.
to save the city money, why not put it on August 28th, then, if we think this one may not be legal? And let them vote then,
That's not the question, in my opinion.
that's my
Yeah.
question.
Well,
the council, I think, is.
you can
is
stop it
attempting-
if you want to.
No, I can't stop it, but I already done let it go forward.
Okay, let's vote.
Yeah. The council, honestly, I think what the council's attempting to do is put something out there so that people will understand that we're serious about allowing people to vote. I mean, that's just all it amounts to. So we can all quibble about our preferences in terms of a date, but I think at the end of the day, we want people to be able to vote.
Well, I'm
And
just trying to
again,
save the city money. That's
And
why I said August 28th, because it's gonna cost us about $100,000 to do it that then. And I think each district, I know my district can use the $100,000. There's a lot of projects I would like to do in my district, so I'm sure that you all have something in your district you want done.
if the legislation had been written with more consideration to some of these things in the beginning, then we wouldn't have to have these
Yes, sir.
conversations.
Uh-huh.
But
You know, I'm sitting here hearing all this gibberish, don't mean anything to me. When you tell people you can't vote on something, friend, you in trouble. You can shake your head all you want to. But one way or the other, we gotta do it.
we've got to vote.
Now, it gets down to me, hey, have the blasted thing, let's vote on it, and then let the legalities take over. You're gonna get sued on both sides anyway if you don't, you know? Now,
So,
whether you agree with me or not, I could care less, but we're gonna let the people vote one way or the other whenever it's legal to do it. He says it's not legal to do it,
Mr. President,
so whatever.
can I say?
Mayor?
You have confusion when you get somebody who doesn't represent your district or
Amen.
city to go to Montgomery and pass a bill without even talking to the people in the city. And normally, if somebody passes a bill, the governing body asks them to pass a bill. But when you have people who go down there and just decide to do what they want to do, this is the kind of confusion you get. That's all I
When
gotta say.
we've had referendums in the past, that's exactly what's happened. And that's why there was little to no confusion in the past. But again, this bill arguably was presented, was ill-conceived. It was definitely poorly written. We talked about this upstairs at nauseum, and I mentioned it the last time we talked about this issue. There was a very last-minute hasty attempt to remove the 8th at-large member from the language. That 8th at-large language is still in the referendum, so there's some confusion as to what the legislative representative even intended as it relates to that, or what they were trying to. So, again, you're not going to get any member of this council to indicate to you that they're not for people being able to vote for an elected school board. I think people ought to have the right. I'm on the record in 2006 as not only being in favor of an elected school board at that time, but I actually voted for an elected school board at that time. So again, I think it's important for this council to take action to set a date. Whether you like that date or not is just to me, it's irrelevant. I think the council needs to take action, and we will today, to set a date, and then we'll move forward. So,
Mr. President, I would like to add to all that what you just said, which is all correct, but by law, we cannot have an election unless it's on the second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Okay, the general election happens to be this year in November, the first Tuesday. So anyway we go, we're going to have, we're out money anyway we go, because this wasn't specified. The next thing is the mayor has to notify in the paper about a mayor and city council election. I think it's the first Tuesday in July, am I correct? So that time frame is done, went by there. So I guess we'd be breaking the law if we did anything different.
yeah.
That's the way I see it. Lee, do you see it any different?
Call for the vote.
Yeah, go ahead.
Call for the vote.
How can we vote on something that our attorney just said wasn't legal? How could we even vote on that? That don't even make sense.
It has not been determined that setting the date for the second, right now, state statutes support an election on the second or fourth Tuesday. The ambiguity really lies with the notice requirement. And we have an opinion that says that we do have to advertise 8 weeks in advance. So we're going with the best piece of legal advice that we have at this point. Call for the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
We have one no.
So we're not gonna let you vote. He don't want you to vote, so he's voting against it.
No,
right.
don't misrepresent me, Mr. Eccles.
Well,
I want us to, hold on,
You
no.
don't
He
have-
just,
you don't have
he
the
just
floor.
told a lie on me, and I'm
That's
on
fine, but
correct.
you don't have the floor.
Now,
That's
you
what
just
you did.
misrepresented me.
That's what you did,
I
whether you
voted
did or
not
not.
for that day. I want him to vote. So don't sit there and tell something that's untrue on me. I want him to vote.
Is there
Your-
any
Your
more-
attorney just told you it was
Is there
illegal.
any
But
more
how
new
you gonna
business?
vote if you don't vote, if you don't
there any
vote
more new
for it?
business?
What you gonna do?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
what
have
are
some new
days?
business, Bill.
Yeah,
Let's
what
go.
are days we get to
Please
vote
move
on?
forward.
No,
Go,
we
I'll
don't
try.
have a day,
Hey.
Coach.
Yes.
I got the floor, please. I got the floor. I want to thank Judge Kimberly for coming this morning and helping us out at our court, city court. It means a whole lot to have the equipment updated, so on and so forth. So I have two pieces of business. I have Resolution 349-1. It's a resolution accepting appropriation from the Judicial Administration of Etowah County in the amount of $1,000 for Gadsden Municipal Court to purchase a shredder. Ask for unanimous consent to consider.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second.
Got it?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Consent has been granted.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries to adopt.
Now, Mr. President, I have an ordinance. It's amending fiscal year 2018 budget by increasing donations of $1,000 and office equipment by $1,000 from funds appropriated from the Etowah County Judicial Administration. Money to be used strictly for surrender for municipal court.
Second.
Ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have unanimous consent for consideration.
Yeah, move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any more new business? Department reports, committees, boards. Citizens' request, Ms. Mary C. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, if you would, just give us your name and address, please.
Mary Carstarf Kelly, reside at 165 South Hawk Drive, Rainbow City, Alabama. I appreciate the,
Is your mic on?
I believe it's on. People usually have the other problem. I appreciate this opportunity to address you. I do so as chair of the 110 members of the Etowah County Voters League, a clear majority of whom are residents of the city of Gadsden. The Etowah County Voters League was established to promote voter education and voter registration, to promote good government, and to protect the welfare of Alabamians in general, and the black and other marginalized Alabamians in particular. The Voters League is also charged to monitor public officials and agencies and to screen and endorse candidates for public office. And while the Voters League is an affiliate of the Alabama Democratic Conference, the league predates the founding of the Alabama Democratic Conference. The league is the political caucus which operates under the motto, political strength through unity. Mr. Chairman, it is in that spirit of unity and a willingness and indeed eagerness to listen and in furtherance of a more inclusive government that we appear before you today. We are mindful that within and beyond our caucus are many active voters who support the leadership of and respect the judgment of this council and mayor. So we are here to seek to achieve together what we cannot accomplish individually, the betterment and advancement of the welfare of our respective communities and the educational advancement of our children. But above that, Mr. Chairman, we are here to support a measure for an elective school board, which in our judgment would be a fuller and more inclusive, more responsive, and more representative form of governance for the administration entrusted with this community's most priceless resource, our children. We may disagree on how we get there, but I believe that each of us wants what is best for our children, because what most advances our children is what is best for our community. And if the implementation of this bill is best for the community, why would we allow it to be delayed? Having said who is before you, I will say it again. At the conclusion of my remarks, we will seek a public response and a reconsideration of the action you have just taken. On April 6th, and I think some clarity is needed because I sense confusion or misrepresentation or some combination thereof. On April 6, 2018, Governor Kay Ivey signed into law House Bill HB 424, codified now as Act 2018-556. I have copies available because I'm going to ask someone to point to me where it says 8 elected or at-large members. The bill is here should any of the citizens want to read it. I also have copies of the constitutional amendment under which all acts are subject, Amendment 659. Should anyone want that? The law provides in pertinent part for Gadsden City Council to call for an authorizing referendum regarding changing the city board to an elected City Board of Education. The law specifies that the question to be presented, as has been stated, is a simple one-sentence question. Do you favor changing the Gadsden City Board of Education from an appointed to an elected school board, followed by a simple yes or no response? If a majority vote against the referendum, the current board will remain intact, and life at the school board will continue as it currently is. If, on the other hand, a majority of the voters of the city of Gadsden approve or vote in favor of an elective school board, then and only then will an elective school board be established in accordance with Alabama Constitution Amendment 659. If I read the plain language of 659, it simply allows the local laws to exercise some discretion already granted to any municipality which decides to change from an appointed to an elected school board.
Ms. Christopherson, if you would, just take 2
Okay,
seconds to wrap up.
okay. This bill does not, this bill states on page 2, line 11, that the school board will consist of 7 members. 7 members, each of whom will be elected from the respective districts. I have heard the statement that there is some unreadiness because of procedural questions. What I would ask you to do is to resolve them today. We have a mayor, we have an acting members, whatever resources. You do not have one resource today that you will have in November. And I am hesitant, but in all honesty, I believe it is somewhat disingenuous to suggest that you cannot get this on the ballot before November the 13th. We have more than one 8-week period between now and November the 13th. And I would urge you to do the job that you have been elected to do. And if you are sincere in your decision, and please make us wrong, if you are truly sincere that you want this on the ballot, you can do it between now and then. You can do it between now and November the 13th. I can assure you, the highest number of voters you will ever see in the city of Gadsden are going to be on August 28th. And they want to see this initiative on the ballot, and they are going to respond if it is not. And you have an opportunity. You have put forth good faith. Let's continue to do that. Let's move this forward before November the 13th. It's too late. Martin Luther King said, justice delayed is justice denied. And I do not want to see this community continue to be denied elective positions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. All right, remarks by the mayor and council. Mayor.
I have a really good announcement here. Most kids, if they don't learn to read and understand what they read and do math, by the time they're in the 5th grade, they start to go downhill. And I want to tell you the Summer Enrichment Mentoring Program of Gadsden, Etowah County is celebrating 17 years of free summer school. Grades K through 12 are served with free breakfast and lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 6 weeks. The educational luncheon is Saturday, July the 21st, 10:15 to 12:15 at the Antioch Baptist Family Life Center on East Broad Street. Mr. James Harris, a well-known track star, from Atlanta, Georgia, is our guest speaker. Also featured are oratorical contest, a spelling bee, the youth choir will perform. So we're asking everybody to come out and celebrate with us. And I want to say especially to Dr. Gertie Lowe, I've been to that several years in a row, that she has that over there for the kids. And I will say thank you so much, Dr. Lowe, and Miss Marcia Kendrick, who is the administrative assistant. They do so much for the kids. I wish we could get more people involved to trying to help the kids get off to a good start. So, Dr. Lowe, are they here? Dr. Lowe here somewhere. Anyway, there she is. Give her a big hand. We appreciate what you do.
Mr. Eccles?
I think I've said enough.
Bob, can we talk you into qualifying today?
Well, I'm just glad that I'm not gonna be in the midst of all this turmoil. We've got a good council, and I don't see any other time, even though we may have plenty of time to come up with a date. That's the first time I've heard that mentioned. I thought we'd covered everything you could possibly do, but because we've tried to come up with a way that people could vote, everybody's got their own opinion. He for dang sure has a right to do whatever he wants to do. He's just as much a part of the council as I am, so I pass.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Councilman Worthy?
First, I'm gonna have to apologize to you for getting loud, because it's like every time I debate you, it's like debating your great-grandfather, and I get sad, so I'm sorry.
Amen.
I'm sorry. Let's talk about some good stuff. I want to thank the Church of the Highlands for doing Surf Day on Saturday. They had about over 1,600 volunteers throughout the county, and they had over 100 projects. And we was able to get them to come up to the Martin Luther King Center to clear off the old basketball courts and tennis courts. We got 2 basketball courts up there, and we're gonna do one more day, I think the first Saturday in August, and we should have it finished, and then be able to play up there. And also, I wanna thank my board of Gadsden Empowerment Initiative. I have one of my members on the board out there in the audience, Reverend Dudley. We have been able to fix up 3 houses. We are in the process of our 3rd house in South Gadsden right now, fixing it up. The first house we did, we put $4,600 in it. The second house we just finished, we put $5,200 in. And in this 3rd house, we're gonna put right around $3,500, $3,600 when we finish it. So I just want to say thank you, because I know nobody else is going to talk about it. So I always talk about what all these nonprofits are doing. So I wanted to put a good word in for our nonprofit. And thank you.
Councilman Billsley?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Councilman Kenny?
I just think what we did today, we let the people have a vote that we're supposed to do. And, if we come up with a different date, we can change the date if we come up. We've got a date now, so y'all be able to vote. And that's what people wanted, so that's what we did. We can change it if somebody got a better idea sometimes.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Reed?
Yeah, Bob was talking about bad times and all this. Bob, we've been through a lot worse than this, 2 or 3 times. Don't you agree? And we always came out and we're better for it. So whatever comes out of this, letting the people vote. I talked about a couple of weeks ago that this is a small part of our Board of Education, our educational system, which is the most important thing in this city. And this part right here is a little bit of a negative. We don't need it. It's affecting the people. It's affecting our getting the industry in here. It's affecting every part of this city. And we need to knock it off. We really do. And go back to the fundamentals of getting this city moving forward like we're trying to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Reed. I would agree definitely with the latter part of that. We we have an opportunity to continue to build up our school system. We've got some great kids. I will contend. We continue to have great kids. We just have a system that has an opportunity to serve them at a higher level. So I think at the end of the day, that's what we're after. One question, and I don't know if anybody can ask, but I'm always curious because, again, I've stated this point numerous times. I was for an elected school board in 2006, voted for it in 2006, and supportive of the idea of an elected school board now. What was the Voters League's position on an elected school board in 2006? Just out of curiosity, does anybody know? She wasn't there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It was for an elected school board.
Was it for? Okay, so it was for. It was
Mr.
for,
President, can I interrupt with you here?
No, it wasn't.
Back in 2008, when we had that vote, I look around here and I only see one person besides myself that was up here calculating the votes, and that was Robert Avery and myself that night, election night. We was up here trying to find out if it was going to go or not. Robert, am I right?
You're right, they've been supported.
I mean, I didn't see any, just me and him was the only two people I seen up here.
Okay. So.
Supported simply because it's a non-function. And that is the major reason there were no collective calls or involvement from the Voters League at that particular time.
Well, again, I think at this point, historical context aside, I think the vast majority of folks are interested in, if for nothing else, being able to consider the referendum. So the council, as pledged a number of weeks ago, has established a date, and we'll continue to move forward with that. Obviously, as we stated upstairs, if there is any legal direction that that causes us to have to back up and punt as it relates to this item, we will. I think this council, as Mr. Eccles stated, this council will continue to do what's most appropriate for the constituency that we support. So again, I think that's very clear, and I agree with Mr. Reed. I don't think it's productive at any level to quabble over dates. I think when you set a date, you're going to have people on both sides of the argument who don't like that date for whatever reason. So there's a lot of opinions as it relates to that. But what we're looking to drive is the appropriateness of the election, and to ensure that people have the opportunity to vote. All right.
I got one question. Well, I just want to recognize somebody. We have our county commissioner from my district, District 5, in the audience. I just wanted to acknowledge her. She's an elected official, Carolyn Parker.
Councilman Reed, did you have anything?
What?
Did you have anything?
I'd like to recognize Buster, Curly, Gwen, all the good features, Ramus, absolutely.
All
People
right.
who come every week.
All right.
And if you come more often than every week, stand up, you know? Whatever you want to do.
All right, if there's nothing else, I entertain a motion that we adjourn. All right.
No.